Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today we're going to take a trip away from Japan, and we're going to go to Belgium, and we're going to look at a beer from a brewery called Brasserie Lupulus, and sometimes called Brewery Lupulus or simply just Lupulus. And the name Lupulus is from the Latin form for the hop plant, which was Humulus lupulus, and lupulus refers to wolf. Apparently, in Latin times or in Roman times, they weren't really big beer drinkers, but when they encountered the hop plant, apparently it somehow resembled a wolf to them. And this brewery was founded in 2004 in the Ardennes region of Belgium, and it was developed in an old farmhouse and intended to make beer for the bar or tavern next door to them. But in 2007, they decided to branch out and make more styles of beer, and they have a variety of beers. I'll put a link to their website, and you can take a look at what they have. Recently in Japan, they have been imported from time to time to the Yamaya chain of liquor stores. Not always, but occasionally you'll find some of their beers there. They have what they call the shop, which I assume is a place to buy beer, and they also have the Lupulus bar, which is open Wednesday through Sundays, and you can actually take a tour of the brewery. It costs apparently 13 euros per person, and they give tours in English, French, and Dutch. And I think it's probably a good idea to make a reservation. On Rate Beer, there were 56 beers listed from this brewery, and on Untapped, 66 beers, and the average on Untapped was 3.54. Okay, so what is today's beer? It is this one. It is called Jolly Poupée, and apparently this means jolly or happy doll in French. And I guess you can get an image of that from the label art here. And this is a red ale or international amber ale, slightly stronger than most, 6.7%, and 22 international bittering units. And this is not listed on the, if you go to the Lupulus website, it's not there. So I assume it is a limited beer, very much limited, and a seasonal beer. 6.7%, 22 international bittering units. And this cost me 412 yen where I bought it, and that would be $2.76 in US dollar terms, and in euros, 2.66 euros. Rate Beer, 36 ratings for this beer, and the average was 3.35, and 42 percentile for all beers on Rate Beer, and 72 percentile for its style, Red Ale International Amber, so fair to middling. Untapped, there were 3,797 ratings when I checked, and the average was very close to Rate Beer's 3.32 out of 5. And they apparently use 4 different malts in making this, and Styrian Golding's yeast, hops, which of course are the hops that are used in some Belgian strong blonde Belgians, like for example Duvel, which in fact I have a Duvel glass I'm going to pour it into. And they also add caramel and brown sugar. So let's see how this works out. Okay, again, Lupulus Jolly Poupée. Okay, it's starting to rise a bit in the glass, so I'm going to pour it out here now. I assume this is an unfiltered beer. Quite a head. It could have been from my pour. And I think you can see the carbonation is kind of fast and furious throughout. And it is a sort of reddish amber color with a good solid two fingers of foam, kind of off-white foam, very sponge-like, kind of thick sort of lacing. All right, aroma. Some moderately roasted malt, I guess some pale malt that was roasted to a kind of medium level. Maybe some red fruit. Something lightly herbal in this. Caramel. Is it caramel coloring or caramel? Hops. Smells a bit lightly oxidized. The drink by date for this is not until 2029, so 5 years off. But I'm just not sure what condition this was held in. It was not refrigerated where I bought it, I know that. Well, okay, not so promising flavor. Okay, moderately malty, light stone fruit, and again, red fruit. Carbonation is kind of attacking the tongue. It's kind of a one-dimensional beer. It doesn't really take off at all. There are almost no flavor changes. So again, light, sort of tangy fruitiness. The basic point here is the maltiness. I'm not getting a strong Belgian influence. Of course, maybe they didn't intend that. It seems like they didn't use a Belgian strong ale yeast for this at all. Four malts. Okay, it's pleasant. I mean, there's nothing terribly wrong with it. It just doesn't develop, doesn't take you on a journey of flavor at all. So what you get at the beginning is pretty much what you get through the mid palate and through the finish. So that's about it. Drinkable, but very, very simple. Yeah, okay. A light bit of alcohol warmth, and that is basically it. So kind of medium bodied. Once again, this is called Lupulus Jolly Poupée, a happy doll, and I don't know how happy this beer will make you, but you might want to give it a try. And I don't know how widely they do export, but if you're in Japan, check it out at Yamaya liquor stores and see if you can find it. Please tell me what you think about this. Red ale, international amber ale, but slightly stronger than most in that category. Okay, so, well, that is it for today. Please do take care, subscribe to the channel, and let me hear from you, okay? Bye-bye.